All right, guys, something's going on with the transmission. I was trying to get it to turn, and I noticed that the bolts that mount it to the mounting bracket are loose. I want to get the transmission out of there. The gas tank is in the way. The external gas tank is in the way of getting to the bolts. So we got to get that gas tank dropped. These straps are pretty much almost rusted through. All right, we got that strap off. We got this strap off. There's a couple hoses here that go to the tank, and they go up to a switch to switch between the tank. There's a tank in the cab, and then there's this external tank. These hoses are toast. Hopefully nothing comes gushing out of there. Nope, just dry junk. The tank is probably no good. It's probably full of rust. Something's holding it. I think this filler hose is holding it, so let's see if we can cut it off here. There we go. Dang it. Yeah, feels like it's empty. I don't think we need that. What else is holding this damn thing? Oh. All right, that hose just broke loose right here. You can see it. It's pretty crispy, guys. There's another hose holding it on. Man, this thing's been sitting for a long time. Some wires came out up there, and I don't know why, but the e-brake cable is attached to it here. But it's loose. Oh, holy crap. Look at the holes. Dang. I guess we weren't using that tank. Oh my God. Look how bad it is. Wow. I guess we needed to pull that, huh? Now, the good thing is it feels like it's halfway empty. Let's get that off of there. Half inch. Let's see if it'll come off. Gas tank removed. Fingers smashed. Access to the transmission now available. The drive shaft and the transmission. The gas tank was blocking it right here. So check this out. You guys notice anything wrong with that situation? I have not unbolted those bolts. The transmission bolts are loose. I did not do that. So either they have wiggled loose over time, or someone loosened them and didn't tighten them, or they snapped off at some point. I don't know. But yeah, they look like they've been loose for a long time because there's grease on the threads, like it was running that way. So not good. Not good at all. Now we can get to the drive shaft bolts and release it so we can pull that transmission out of there. Ooh, that thing's seen better days, guys. It's pretty rough. Look at the holes. It's been rotting a long time. It's weird. It feels like it's plastic, but it's metal. I guess it's just so rusted out. It's Ah, feels weird. Yeah, we got a convertible gas tank, guys. Oh, yeah, it's empty. Perfect. Well, we just took about, 10 pounds or so, added some horsepower. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is get a new tank for the rear. They go all the way back in the rear, like on the later years, and delete the in-cab tank and delete this tank. Just run a nice brand new tank to the rear and we'll be good to go. All right. Well, I got the tank out. All right, let's go back in and see if we can get this drive shaft off of here. So now, let's see if we can get these off. Of course. It's spinning up top. Hold it, keep it from spinning. There it goes. It's coming down. Oh, slid out of there, which is good. I think this is the only other thing connected. There's a little clip right here holding on the shifter. There we go. All right. Anything else holding this thing in? I don't think so. I'm definitely not holding it in by the mounts. Question is, how heavy is it? And can I pull it out of there? Or am I going to need the winch? Let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to jump in there real quick and pull on it. Okay. Well, it's moving, but it's a little heavy. And there's some cables here that are the cooler lines that we need to get out of the way. Not the right tool for the job. Let's see if we can figure this out. We got all the ratchets and stuff here. What size is this? 3/4, 1/2 inch. I need to get this. This is so heavy. Dang it. Come on now. Come on. It's heavy. Yeah. We're gonna have to get a strap around it and winch it out of there. All right, let's see if we can get the other side of that drive shaft off. We've got some space up there now. The gas tank's out of the way. There we go. A little bit of fluid in there, huh? That's nice and clean right there. It's still not turning. It might be stuck in park or it might be seized. I'm not sure. Let's pull it out and take a closer look at it. All right, we're getting there. We got that off. And let's get the rear off so we can move this thing around without the drive shaft dragging on the ground. All right, there we go. Ooh, they're a little rough, guys. Drive shaft extracted. Ooh, she's a little rough, boys. I think this truck spent some time by the river or the ocean or something. It's got some rust. All right. Cool. Yeah. Good Lord. Let me Let's check this up again real quick. I just want to see if it's spinning nicely without too much clunking. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little crispy, but that's probably the brake pads rubbing on the drums. It's moving. Yeah, you can see it's moving pretty good now. Yeah, that's the drums rubbing on the brakes. So those are gonna have to come off, and we'll pull the axles out. We'll lube everything up, change the seals. We'll get that cover off and clean everything up, and hopefully that thing, hopefully it's not all chewed up in there. Hopefully it's nice and clean. Looks like they put some air shocks or gas shocks on here. Is that what that is? I think that's what that is, right? You can inflate those, or I think they're gas shocks. Yeah, so you can add a little extra oomph to it, but those are probably worn out. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and set it back down. We should be able to move this thing pretty easy. Push it back a little bit so we can wrap a strap around that transmission and pull it out with the hoist. Before, I could not push it by myself. I had to pull it with a vehicle. So that's leading me to believe that this thing is seized up somehow. It turns if you pull it with the vehicle, but I think this thing is all jacked up. So we're gonna pull it out. It's probably gonna have to be rebuilt, or we'll just get a rebuilt one from somebody. Look at it, it's rolling good now. Shoot, rolling too good. All right, let's climb in there and strap this thing up, see if we can hoist this thing out of here. Take a closer look at it. It's, I think it's seized. Even if it's not seized, it's probably worn out. Everything on this truck is worn out, guys. So, yeah. Let me wrap that strap. I got 2 straps. We'll wrap them around. We'll hook this chain up. Try to ease this thing out of here real nice. Take a closer look at it. All right, we got it hooked up, strapped in. Hopefully that'll pull it out of there. All right, let's do it. Coming. All right, there it is. It's out. FOMOCO. I don't know which gear is neutral. That's probably park. Push this out of the way. I think that's the speedo cable. You gotta get that loose, huh? Got a little. We might need a new speedo cable. Looks like it may have broken right there. A little piece broke off. Yeah, it's on here. Well, shoot. Let's see if we can get one of those. And then I'm assuming, yeah, that's the speedo cable, right? All right, let's lower this thing down. All right, so what's going on with this thing? Is it seized? Well, it looks pretty rough. Look at all the oil all over it. I don't know if the rear main seal on the engine was leaking for a long time and blowing all over this. That's probably what it was, huh? But you know, what concerns me is that is not turning. And it seems like neutral should be in there somewhere. All right, I got the dolly out here, little table. We set the transmission on here and take a closer look at it, see what's going on. Let's do it. Change my shirt too. I don't want to mess up that new shirt. All right, guys, what do you think? I mean, it could be just stuck in there for some reason. Not sure, but I think we're gonna leave this to the professionals. There's the dipstick. The fluid looks clean. That's how it goes in. Just goes in like that, huh? Well, yeah, I ended up cutting this because someone had already cut it at the radiator, and it's seized in there. You know, we could drain the fluid out of it, although I don't really have anywhere for it to go. I kind of need to get a pan underneath it. I might have a pan here. Let me check. Let's try it. There we go. All right, that worked. We've got a big tarp just in case it starts dripping down on the ground. We can try to keep it off the concrete, but it looks like so far probably wouldn't have spilt anything, but I put a hole right here, so yeah, we're gonna need to get a new one of those for my brother. Let's get all those bolts off and see what happens. What are we working with? 9/16, half inch, 7/16 maybe. No, half inch. All right, let's try that. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Let me get a screwdriver. All right, you guys ready for this? Ooh, they got it on there pretty good. Ah, it's coming. It's coming. Whoa. Wow. That's not good. I mean, it looks beautiful right there, but there's some crud in there, guys, in the pan. Look at that. Wow, what is that? That's in the bottom of the pan. Oh man. That's like the freaking, almost as bad as the oil pan from the engine. Wow. That's nasty, man. Surprisingly, this looks pretty good. I mean, from what I know, I don't know much, but I mean, see, this is all moving, but it's not going into gear. Houston, we have a problem. Guys, I don't think that stuff's supposed to be in there. I don't know how it got in there, but it definitely was in there. This looks really clean. I mean, I'm sure this probably looks dirty to some guys that know transmissions, but to me it looks clean. There's some junk right there. More of that junk. It's kind of squishy. It's kind of squishy junk. I don't even know where that came from. Like, what is that? I don't know. I don't know what happened, guys. Obviously, I don't know if this thing's ever been rebuilt. I don't know if it's been opened. I don't know, but it's gonna need a rebuild, guys. This thing is, I mean, if that's in the pan, yeah, not good. Not good. All right, guys, I think that's it for the transmission. I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. It's obviously locked up. You guys got any advice? Comment below, but most likely I'm just gonna get a rebuilt one and we're gonna keep moving forward. We'll keep this core around if we need it. Maybe we'll have it rebuilt for another project, but it has obviously got some issues. You know, when you open the pan and it looks like that, there's obviously a problem. So we're gonna get the drive shafts figured out, transmission, we're working on the engine. Darren, I think, said the engine's almost done. We're waiting on a radiator, a couple other little things. We're gonna get all this cleaned out of here. Yeah, it's gonna take some time, but I wanna get pictures of all the wiring before I disconnect anything. But all this is gonna come out. Almost all of the wiring, probably the master cylinder and the exhaust. I'm gonna scrape all this grease off and get in here and pressure wash it really good so we can get it nice and clean. Let's get some of this stuff out of here right now. Still got a little bit of daylight left. Let's get all those AC wires out of there and that condenser thing and go from there. There we go. Gotta do those hoses. All right, that was fun. This one came off real easy. This one was fighting me, but we got them off. Yeah, so we got a couple wires here that we need to disconnect. All right, so I've got the inside unit disconnected. Just had a couple screws, these brackets right here. Not a big deal. We've got some holes we're gonna have to cover up. I'm not sure what we're gonna do here, but we got to fix this and get this covered up. Maybe there's a cap for this that looks like the gas cap, but it's actually doesn't go to anything. Same here. I'm going to delete this. We're going to delete this, and we're going to move the gas tank to the back. We got some holes here to fix. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know if it's going to go through that big glob of junk on there. You can see the holes. We're going to have to fix those holes. All right, got that one out. All right. Whoo! All right, we got it. Yeah, this is just a big mess in here. I'm sure it was nice when they first put it in. see, we got some zip ties here. There we go. Woo. Anybody want a air conditioning system? It's mint. This was already broken, guys. So we got the that's the bracket that was holding the thing on, and a hose, rusty, slightly used hose, battery bracket. These are actually kind of cool. There's one on each side to hold the battery down. Get in here and vacuum all this stuff out of here. All right, we got a couple little clips here. Trying to save the original wiring and get rid of any stuff that we don't need. Like this wire here went to the air conditioner compressor that was aftermarket. And this stuff is original. There's the oil pressure, water temperature, and oil temperature, I think. There's 3 of them there. There's a choke cable, which we'll probably delete. I don't think we're going to need it on the new carburetor. We're going to have to fix that hole, those holes where they put the air conditioner in. Yeah, we're getting rid of stuff, guys. Clearing up, feels better already. I'll be able to use that wire for something. Probably. We'll save the wire. It's looking pretty good. These, this is toast. These hoses are toast. All right, guys, let's get this engine bay cleaned up. Get all that grease out of there. Get all the stuff out of here that we don't need in here right now, and the stuff we're going to replace, like the alternator, solenoid, whatever this thing is. This thing, anything we can get out so we can vacuum and pressure wash and scrape all this grease off. I put a tarp down there to catch the grease. I guess we could start right here with this horn. It's got a little clip here. I don't know if this is factory. It probably is. These little clips. These little clips are pretty worn out. I'm assuming somebody sells these or makes them, so we'll look for those. So yeah, it's going here. And then this jumps into the harness, goes into the regulator here. Let's see if this comes out. Yeah, it does. Not sure if that regulator's good, but I think the new ones are like 12 bucks, something like that. We'll go ahead and pull that off of there. There's a little capacitor or something they put on there at some point. That might be factory. All right, there's a couple different nuts on here. Let's see if we can get these off. There's a 1/4 inch here. And it was loose. Looks like it might be a ground cable. 7/16 here. You can kind of see this big wire going here to the bigger nut. This orange wire going to that smaller one right there. whatever that is. This says battery right here, and that says something. I don't know what that says. It might still be good, but yeah, we'll probably get a new one. So you can kind of see here the wires are pretty rough, and this looks like factory. This is probably original factory, and you can just see it's just heat and corrosion and time kind of doing its thing there. Doesn't look like anything was chewing on it. It looks like it just got hot and worn out over the years. Maybe something pinched it right there. Not seeing any evidence of chew marks, which is good. It looks like it's just mostly heat and old age. Looks like they might have did a little repair right there. We'll have to peel that back and see what's going on. Let's get this horn off. It's a 1/2 inch. There's 2 horns. Pretty cool. Let's get this regulator off. Looks like a ground wire at the top here, coming off the harness. Everything's super rusty, guys, so you know the grounds are probably not very good on these, which can cause it not to work properly. All right, a little dirt on some mud daubers living back in there. The back of it, yeah, there's a little corrosion. This may have been replaced at some point. It doesn't, I don't think it says, doesn't look like it says Ford on it anywhere. And there's a condenser or some sort of other gizmo at the bottom. Factory installed side marker here for the Camper Special Edition, and that wire is going through here, but they have a little connector here so that you can disconnect it. Ground screw Phillips head down here, it's loose. I don't know, maybe they were messing with it at some point. Looks factory. So now we can just push that through that way. Got this thing here, I'm not sure what this is, but there's a connector at the bottom, and it's pretty rough. So we're gonna have to clean that up really good and get in there and clean all that. Look how bad it is. Man, it's almost like this thing was underwater at some point. Pretty wild. A lot of rust. Let's get that off of there. I'll look in the manual, but if you guys know, comment below. What does this thing do? How does it work? Do they fail? All right, whatever this thing is, I think it has something to do with the camper power. There it is. Whatever this thing is. What is this thing? Reverse trailer. Battery leads if light is on. Oh, automatic dual battery hookup. Okay, so this is part of the automatic dual battery thingamajig. Probably no good. Who knows? Maybe it is. Okay, we're getting there. And we can get the ratchet on there. Awesome. I love it when you can use these. The first thing on here was the nut, 9/16. Then this cable here, which this is the ground cable. I'm not sure if that's stock or not, factory. But that was the first thing on there. And then the second thing, and they could have messed with this. I don't know if this is factory or not. This piece here, I'm not sure if this is factory, but this looks like a sending power over, and then it jumped over to that other box. So that comes out. And we got this piece here, yellow and red. You got this red here, which I would imagine is power, and then this is ground. It says S and T, something like that. Pretty rough looking, guys. And this goes down to the starter, which I would imagine that means that is the positive cable, right? Going to the starter. All right, we should be able to pull that solenoid off of there now. Let's see. I don't know. I don't see Motorcraft on there anywhere. We'll have to clean it up and take a closer look. I don't know what that is, but I don't think we're going to need it if we're not using the camper stuff. AAA trailer something. Not sure what that is, guys. If you guys know, comment below. This front harness that goes to the horn and to the alternator connects to the main harness right here. That allows us to get this out of here. All right, so that cleans that up pretty good. We kind of just tucked that out of the way. Yeah, let's get the hose off that power steering box. See if this will work. It's a little crispy. The hose is probably going to need to be replaced. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crispy. Let's get this little heater hose thing out of the way. You can see how bad it is. It's rusted almost all the way through right here. And then on the back side, the actual hose part, nipple, is just gone. Just get that off there real quick. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that valve is toast. Looks like it's just completely rusted in there. They probably ran this thing on water for a long time and rusted everything out. So there's a little insulator thing. There's a hole that goes into the firewall there, back into the cab. And this little piece of rubber piece here, I'm just gonna pull that off. And we'll probably end up just tucking that in there. And we'll pull it back through. Let's see if we can get these off of here. This is where the hot water goes in and out of the cab into the gear core. That allows you to get heat, defrost. Pulls the hot water in there. It's like a little radiator in there. And I'm pretty sure I know it's toast. You can just tell. Everything else is rusty. So we'll probably add heat back on at some point, but We don't need it right now. Just peeling it back, guys, peeling it back. Let's get that ground cable off right there. It grounded to the manifold. Not sure why. All right, let's vacuum some of this junk out of here. Get a better idea what's going on. All right, we're getting there. It's looking better. Just gotta keep stripping stuff away. Let me get that horn off of there real quick. Let's get as much stuff out of the way as we can. Let's get that transmission cooler out of there. Oh, a little bit of rust. Watch out for the rust. Yeah. We might need a new radiator support. Ooh. Oh man, that thing's a little bit of dragon blood. All right. Ran when parked. They didn't say it ran good. I don't think this one ran at all. You know what? Let's go ahead and get that exhaust out of there now. All right, let's see if this will work. That was easy. All right, straight pipes. That worked pretty good. Oh wow, streak. I never heard of those. You guys ever hear of these? California. Wow. Man, these have been on here for a while. But look at that sticker, man. It lasted a long time. That's pretty cool. It looks like they used to be blue. They're long. I bet they sounded good when they were new, but they are pretty rusty. The whole system's pretty rusty. Yeah, that sticker lasted a long time. That's pretty wild. There we go. That Sawzall works good. Pull these out of here. We're gonna need some new donuts. Yeah, the donut's worn out. What's that made out of? It's like a cast. Exhaust is out. That was easy. All right, guys, we got the exhaust out. that in the scrap pile. All right, I think we're ready to get in here and just start scraping some of this grease away. Eventually we're gonna pressure wash, but I think it would be good to scrape as much of it out as we can. And yeah, look how thick that is. I got the tarp down there to catch everything. We'll kind of try to throw it back that way. Coming off pretty easy. All right. It was leaking for a while. I think you guys get the idea. We're just gonna get all this stuff off here. Ooh. Man, she had a leak, a little bit of a leak. Helps protect the chassis. We're gonna be in here for a little while. You guys can good time to go to the restroom, grab a drink, something to snack on. All right, let's see what we're working with. We got a lot of that out of there already. Just hitting it with the scrapers and a wire wheel. And you can see we're getting down the metal. Lot more to do. That stuff is everywhere. It's in all up in the chassis and the crevices. It's underneath this cross member. It's in between. So it's gonna take some time and some pressure washing and scraping and pressure washing, and probably hit some degreaser a little bit in here, and just scrubbing the heck out of it. Really is just getting it down and scrubbing it really good. Catching most of it on the tarp here. Yeah, a little bit there. So yeah, you can see most of it is it's mostly dirt that gets caught up on the oil that's leaking, and then it just cakes in there. A lot of dirt and clay and oil mixed in there, and sticks and all kinds of stuff. So we've got a lot of that off of there. We're gonna gather this up and put it in a bucket, and then we'll put this back under there and we'll keep going. Knock some of that mud out of the way real quick. There's a little bit in there. Probably get some water in the cab, but that's all right. We'll dry it out. There's a lot of loose rust and dirt and stuff up in here. It's a long way to go, guys, but we're getting closer. We got a long way to go. But we're getting closer. Yeah, we got a long way to go. But we're getting closer. But we're getting closer. All right, it's looking better, guys. We're knocking off some of that loose rust and dirt. Bunch of rust down in there. We blew out of there. Down in there. There's still some down in there. You can see it. We got to get some more out of that out of there. But it just takes time. You just got to keep hitting it with the water hose and forcing it out of there. But we're getting there. Still a lot to do. I'm going to scrape off as much of this grease as I can. I'm going to crawl up under there and scrape all the grease off of the transmission mount area. And we'll replace the transmission mount. We'll replace the motor mounts. Rebuilt transmission, rebuilt engine, new radiator. It's going to be real sweet, guys. New exhaust. It's going to happen. It's going to happen real soon. So stay tuned. We're going to keep this thing patina. And eventually, once we get the drivetrain and the engine and all that going real smooth, and have some fun with it and use it, we might take it all apart and paint, blast the chassis and do all that. We'll see what happens. But right now the goal is not to take it apart, only take apart what we have to. And right now the only thing we need to take apart is the engine, which we already did, transmission, which we're having rebuilt, and all that good stuff. So we'll probably have to do the springs and the shocks and the brake lines, master cylinder. Hopefully that steering box is good. We'll see what happens. A lot of little things are going to add up. I want to get this pressure washed as good as we can. Get all the grease out that we can get to. And just keep going. All right, we blew everything off the dryer. It's a real sunny day too, so everything's drying real quick. And check this out. This truck has had more spare keys than any truck or car I've had. I was just digging in here and I saw a chunk of rust. And this thing came out. Look at that. He had one of the magnetic key things here. This is like the 4th or 5th spare key I found in here. Check that out. That's cool. He did not want to get locked out. I think I found a spare set here, and there was a couple inside. Pretty wild. So there's some rust down in there. The radiator mount, the radiator support is what this whole thing is called. They usually rust out at the bottom. This one is actually still held together, so we're gonna run with it for now. Isn't that cool? Pretty wild. And for those of you with higher than normal IQ and 20/20 vision, you probably notice the wheels are different. I picked these up for $100. 4 wheels and tires, slightly used, for $100. And they are original 250 wheels and newer tires. I don't see any dry rot on them. So this is more what it would have looked like out of the factory. Tires would have been a little different, but those were the wheels that this truck came with out of the factory. These are off of 78, I think he said, possibly. I don't know if they replaced them. I don't know if there's their aftermarket, but they are the style, definitely the same style, steel wheels that would have come on this truck from the factory. The other wheels are, I'm not sure who makes them. I'm not sure if they're Ford, but a lot of the old Fords have them. They're called wagon wheels, I think. I love this look. I think it looks awesome. It's looking real sweet, guys. All right, stay tuned. See ya.